Greetings and good day, YouTube. How are you doing today? We basically have to do a mulligan for the last 10 minutes because my stream just disconnected and then reconnected. Long story short, uh, this week I've started the DLC for Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree. It's been a pain in the ass with the difficulty, and I've been enjoying that. I'll rant about idiots complaining about it being too hard in a minute. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I plan on continuing my Elden Ring playthrough. I actually plan to continue playing it today after I get done with this. Monday of next week, however, we're going to be doing Minecraft into Metal Gear Solid because it'll be our 5th anniversary on July 1st, and I just want to play Metal Gear Solid. So I'll probably be doing a quick little run through while I gush about the lore. And when I say a quick little run through, gushing about the lore, it's probably going to be the main games. Maybe 4, as long as it'll run properly. We'll see. Long story short, regardless of that, though, I'll probably spend 2 weeks playing Metal Gear, then get back to Elden Ring to finish up both the DLC, if I haven't already at that point, as well as the main game. And I'll probably start playing that game off-stream a bit, or I'll just start playing that in the future. That could be... Oh, wait a minute. That could be a game that we could play on Mondays after we get done with this. So in that case, let's actually get ready to start doing that. Hold on a minute. I'm gonna get ready to build the castle and finish this shit, and I'm gonna start getting ready to switch to a different game. I have no idea what that game is gonna be yet, but we could actually make Elden Ring a Monday game because of its replayability. Just replay the game over and over again. Yeah. Get my ass handed to me when I'm not paying attention, but it doesn't really matter because I don't really care about making progress in that case. I mean, that's what would happen, and it would become a subconscious thing at that point. And it's not even me wanting to play it to get good or anything like that. It's just I enjoy the game. But I don't really have any good excuses to play it a lot of the time. Here's what's going to end up happening, real talk, though. I'll probably end up playing the game in a more casual way, like I've been. If I do get to it on Monday, it will be like I will try to use that as a means to train myself to talk more whenever I'm playing a game, because it's hard for me to multitask to that level. Alright? Like, a lot of the times I'll be talking about a subject that I want to discuss and lose my train of thought because I'm trying to do 20 other different things. And, like, reorganize different stuff and all that. I actually want to keep that there. The birch planks, we need more of those, and we also need dirt to replace that other shit. I've been quite busy with work over the past couple of days. One of the reasons why I haven't done the webcam is because of how hot I've been dealing with the heat all day. Got some really good sun on my arms and shit like that. I watched World War Z for the first time. I'm repeating myself because, like I said earlier, my stream went out, so because when my stream goes out, it stops the video that I'm going to be using for YouTube. So I figured I'd just rehash over the things that I went over. Anyways, I enjoyed it. The movie came out like 11 years ago or something like that, and even though it's as old as it is, it still holds up really well from my perspective. For the first time watching it, there wasn't that many big points that made me go, wow, this is dumb, or I can't believe they had the characters do this. This doesn't make any sense why they would do it. Everything felt pretty good with how it worked.
Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories. Loan subject to credit application and approval. Equal housing lender.
Welcome to AutoZone.
Oh, I know a while back I was talking about Mogwin, defeating Mogwin to get to the DLC, and I made a comment about the way that I'm doing it's kind of cheesy, because I was summoning in by Mimic tier, right? And then I was cheesing the boss. But at the end of the day, I decided, screw it. The game's, like, I'm having fun. Even if I am, quote-unquote, cheesing the game, I'm still having fun. Damn. Plus, I just do enjoy that world. I just do enjoy going through that. But the main reason why I might make Elden Ring a Monday game after Minecraft is because I'm realizing as I'm going through, I should not have done the victory lap New Game Plus with my original character. I should have just stopped there and then done New Game Plus with that. Because me doing New Game Plus with Dory, or New Game with Dory, has made me go, man, I should have just kept New Game Plus. And I kind of want to, I don't want to play the game off stream. But I also want to get through and, like, get to New Game Plus Plus, basically. But that's something I'll worry about doing when we get done with whatever it is we need to do here for me to feel like we've finished. Because there's some more stuff I have to do with the mountain. There's some stuff I have to do with the castle. I have to build the castle. Which I'm trying to clear out my inventory to actually get the ability to make room like that. I'm also trying to repair the explosion thing that occurred not too long ago. This is spruce. I think that's the same exact. There we go. Anyway, the Metal Gear Solid playthrough that I do is going to be filled with spoilers, by the way. Because I've already done a big playthrough of the series previously, and that was a clean playthrough where I did minimal spoilers. Since this is going to be my second playthrough, it's going to be chock full of spoilers. Appreciate the lurk. Enjoy your demon run. Alright. Look at that. Now we got some bees. Now we got some bees. I'm very pleased right now. Very pleased. Let's fix that. But yeah, I've been thinking about it more and more and more, and well, I do like a game like this to play. I don't know if I want to go directly from a game like this into a game like this, like with Terraria or something like that. You know what I mean? Like a game where I can just, like, lose my train of thought or whatever while I'm playing the game, because I don't really have to focus on what exactly I'm doing, because it's kind of easy to do. But at the same time, I can make that way by just playing a game a certain way, in all honesty. With Elden Ring, though, currently, I'm not going to get into that mindset because I want to focus on the bosses. I want to enjoy fighting them. Because if I do just shut off my brain, it's going to take me a long time to learn the attack cycles of enemies. But if I do, I'll probably memorize their attack cycles because of the way that I'll memorize them. Regardless of that, though, I saw someone defeat Mogwin with no armor, no summons, spiked fists only, and they didn't take a single hit of damage. And I was like, you know what? Yeah. You enjoy playing the game that way. Level 1, I believe, also, by the way, level 1. I ain't gonna play that game like that. That's fucking crazy to me. Also, had a amusing thing I saw on Twitter. Yoshi P was like, 1 week. You all have 1 week to get through the DLC. And then, there really wasn't much else to go over. At least nothing that really piqued my interest to talk about. You know what? There we go. But yeah, as for the Star Wars breakdown, we are on episode 12 for this episode, or for this thing of the breakdown. And I'm gonna do something I haven't done in a while. I'm gonna try to do it based off of not what I've written down, but based off of just my general feelings and thoughts, right? Right? And it is amazing to me how much they put into making certain things the way that they are, right? And what I mean by that is they actually have Jar Jar show up again, kind of near the first quarter of the episode. He's going there to help pay for the ransom for Count Dooku, which the pirates caught last episode. And man, what a hell of a hilarious situation we find ourselves in, because directly after switching cups and taking a drink, we find out that the Jedi wake up, Anakin and Obi-Wan, after being drugged. Even though they were drugged and they switched their cups. I was a little bit upset about that, because it's like, why would you make such a big deal about them switching cups last episode and then kind of ignore that this episode? Whatever. They're attached, almost like chained together. They're attached to one another with shackles. Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. Greetings, good day, Sneaky Jules. How are you doing today? You've got yourself the 10 of clubs. That is your card. The 10 of clubs. So yeah, they try on several different occasions to escape together, but none of those will end up being successful until finally, at the end, they separate Dooku and the Jedi. That's when eventually they will end up escaping on their own, which I thought was hilarious, because in episode 11 they make it sound like Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku are going to actually work together, and they don't really work together. Monday, so meh. True. My Monday's doing better than my Friday was, hilariously enough.
Go bananas. I will. Hey, make it a large. Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan.
Meanwhile, while they're escaping on several different occasions and failing, Jar Jar, another senator, alongside Jar Jar, a group of clone guards and pilots are flying them down to deliver the ransom for Dooku, which is 1 million credits worth of spice, which every time I say that makes me think of Dune. Meanwhile, while the leader of the pirates is trying to double dip by also selling the Jedi to the Separatists, his underling is trying to betray him and steal the spice for himself by taking the vessel down. And it's wild what happens during the takedown on the vessel, the ship that has the 2 senators and the clones, because Jar Jar can't get his seat open, even though there's like a bunch of empty seats. His seat, it's like the thing's locked. So much so that while he's fumbling around, he hits a button to take the pilot and drop the pilot, then it ends up going up, into the cockpit, then the pilot lets him back down. Like, it's basically just like a whole slew of ridiculousness occurring, right? Like, oh, there's clumsy Jar Jar. But I'm making jokes as much as I say I do think there is more to it. I really do think they're doing it in such a way to make it like, yeah, no, he's not Darth Jar Jar, but he's definitely got to be force sensitive, because some of the shit he pulls off on accident is ridiculous. Even in the cartoon. He's also very quick-witted. Like, extremely intelligent. I'm getting my thoughts in order. But yeah, they get taken down. The other senator gets out of his seat to lock Jar Jar's seat, and then when the senator gets back into his seat and locks himself in, it doesn't, like, it almost seems like it doesn't lock properly. And then when they crash after they've been taken down by the pirate subordinate, that senator gets launched out of his seat. The pilots end up dead. The other clones are there with Jar Jar, and the other senators ends up dead, right? And I was like, there's a part of that was like, man, that's weird that, like, I'm gonna say I think that maybe Darth Jar Jar is more accurate, because that senator must have had to go, because he might have been fine being locked in there like that, but after he undid his lock, and then locked back in, it undid itself, like it sprung out. So I'm thinking that maybe that was done on purpose by Jar Jar. Real talk. It was hilarious to see that, and then they were like, okay, so you have operational command now, right, clone general dude? Nope, Jar Jar. And I was like, oh, Jar Jar's in command. I wonder how much of a buffoon they're going to try to make him look. Not as much of a buffoon as you would think. Because when eventually he goes to negotiate with the pirates, he ends up accidentally slipping and slamming into the back of the pirate. Slamming him into the controls. And, like, it almost feels like it's like, whoops, sorry, while he's doing it on purpose type of a thing. Because he backs the fucking vehicle into another vehicle, which backs into the power lines, which shuts the power off, which allows the now separated Jedi and Sith to escape their bondings and get the fuck out of Dodge. Alright? I was very amused when the Jedi let the pirates go, even after everything was said and done. Because they were captured, and you would think they would want to arrest the pirate, and they're like, nope, you're good to go. You have Dooku to deal with now, though, which I think it was actually more of a... Arresting him would have been kinder, in all honesty, because he would have been more protected from Dooku. Instead, they let the pirate out on his own to possibly be accosted by Dooku. So now that pirate's options are very limited. I don't know why I'm going there to drop the die off when it was right there. But yeah, Dooku, after he escapes and chokes out the underling that was trying to betray the main pirate captain, and then took out the other dude with the dude he was choking out, I was like, damn, that was such a badass Sith way to kill somebody. Like, Anakin and Obi-Wan just used the pirate captain as a hostage till they escape and let him go. And Dooku's just like, you're dead. I will say I kind of forgot how brutal that cartoon was. I'm getting ready to start the outline for the castle. Because like I said, I'm actually like, now that I'm getting ideas in my head for the next game, I'm kind of a mindset that I want to finish this sooner rather than later so I can get started on some new game. Which, hilariously enough, I could definitely make it Elden Ring. Even if I'm not done with the main playthrough, playing it once a week for 3 hours or so, maybe even longer, because... No, that's really not going to work in our favor. Anyways, I'm getting distracted. But yeah, Jar Jar pulled that ridiculousness off. There was also another thing that Jar Jar did. There was like these acid geysers. And Jar Jar was immediately able to look at the local wildlife and use that as a means to figure out when the geyser was going to go off. Using that, he was able to hide away with the other clones. Also, there was a different voice, like the voice actor for Jar Jar was very obviously a different person, and it was kind of jarring.
Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories.
But yeah, the entire time they were like dogging each other verbally while they were held captive. Dooku, Anakin, and Obi-Wan. That was kind of funny. Like, they never really had a moment, and I'm glad they didn't have that moment either, where like we're like being bitter towards one another. They eventually decide they have to put their differences aside and work together. I'm glad they got out when they got separated from each other instead of actually working together to escape from the pirates. It's really funny because while they were able to work off of each other, it was very obvious that they were actually holding one another up. I will say it was very surprising when Obi-Wan grabbed Dooku after they were cut apart. Like, you would think that they would try to get their own... Like, would they be able to escape if they had just dropped Dooku? Maybe. There's also, like, how lacking they are in the Force. Like, this is one of those things that I was talking about. It feels like there are certain moments where the Force is ridiculously easy to use to, like, hold things back or what have you, and then in other cases, it's the most difficult thing to do of all time, right? Like, oh, you can lift up a plane in this situation, but in another situation, you can't lift up a butter knife. Then again, I guess it would depend on what exactly you're trying to do. Like, if you're trying to just whip around a knife, yeah, you can probably do that easy. But if you're trying to manipulate a knife in such a way to unlock your cell door, then yes, that would probably be a little bit more focus. I do gotta love the fact that breaking down all these episodes and all the movies and stuff like that, like I've been, has definitely helped keep things in my mind. And I'm glad for it. Because it's really nice to be able to go, no, there's so many little loopholes and plot lines that just don't go anywhere, and it's a bit annoying, honestly. But yeah, the more I think about it, I could make, like, Skyrim a Monday game. I'm a bit quiet because I'm like mentally thinking about the breakdown on certain things and whether or not that's gonna be a good thing or not. I don't know. I mean, I'm not concerned about how long it's going to take to get through the game, because the idea is not to get through the game. The idea is just to have background stuff, right? And I think over the next couple of days I played the DLC, I might try to get into the mindset a little bit to talk. Mind you, when I'm fighting bosses, I'll probably get in focus mode regardless. Hell, I get in focus mode while playing this game sometimes too. So it's not that much of a difference, in all honesty. I'm trying to think if there's anything else really to break down. Yeah, it was a very big, like, the episode did drag on a little bit, in my opinion, episode 12, because of the fact that they were doing, like, this back and forth between Jar Jar and the other senators' adventure into trying to pay the ransom to get Dooku as a captive. My favorite part about it, though, was at the end where they were like, hey, if you still have Dooku, we'll give you the spice. Even after he tried to take them captive, they were still going to make the deal. And they obviously didn't have Dooku captive, because when the power went out, when Jar Jar, you know, backed the one vehicle into the other vehicle that was then able to take out the power, Dooku was able to use that to escape. But yeah, I don't know how many more episodes we got for season 1, but when I do get done with season 1, I might do like a whole season breakdown and try to remember by hand exactly how things went from episode 1 to the final episode of the season. Because episode 1 was easy. Episode 1 started off with Yoda and an introduction to Ventress, which is supposed to be Dooku's apprentice, right? And that pissed me off because Ventress is probably going to be around for quite a while, and any death she causes, that would be completely on Yoda's hands. That's something I won't let that little green bastard forget. Ever. Well, I'm getting started on the fucking castle. At least the base of it. I'm gonna mark it down, or measure it, I should say, with the concrete. I might try and make more concrete powder. We'll see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to talk about, because this one's feels pretty short. Yeah. Well, technically it's not short. Technically it was a half hour broken down into a quicker way. And really, I'm... Normally I'd have a lot to go over, right? And what I mean by that is normally I'd have a lot of written down stuff for the analysis for the episode. But basically, that's just a retelling of what happened. And yeah, there were quite a few moments of some combat that was pretty interesting. Like, after getting shot down, the betrayer pirate to the captain basically sent out his men to take out any survivors. And that's how we found out the other senator was dead and all that. And nobody else, none of the other clones or anybody else died. I technically don't think Jar Jar killed anybody.
Okay, true stories from Huntington.
Maybe.
You were nervous about trying to get a
Not 100% sure there.
Nobody likes to hear the word.
But yeah, I was like, man, it feels like that was a short one. Yeah, it feels like a short one because I don't want to have this webcam on and the heat and the light on for as long as I've had it on for.
hit it. But
I'm going to see about doing one more round of bee breeding if I can.
From your bank. Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories. Loan subject to credit application and approval. Equal housing lender.
Is switching to Total by Verizon easy? Come visit your local Total by Verizon store.
But yeah,
50% off any unlimited data phone plan when you bring your own phone. One line,
finish the
$25
wall.
a month, plus taxes and fees on
Gotta
top
do
of
the
what America
castle.
relies on. And the best part, there's
And I'm not sure about the
Verizon stores
core.
across the country. Find yours at totalbyverizon.com. Offer ends July 31st, 2024. Promo subject to cancellation after 12 months. Available exclusively online and in Total by Verizon stores. Requires a compatible unlocked device. See totalbyverizon.com for device compatibility and additional details. Taxes and fees may apply.
All right. I probably should have waited a little bit longer before doing that, but we got some more bees on the way. Get rid of all of you. And then I'll get some wheat, I think. Because I need more steak. But yeah, I'm going to try to do that more in the future, because really, like, there's not much that I'm missing that was really pertinent. We were introduced to the pirate character. We got to see how idiotic he was, actually, because he was explaining to his underling, his second in command, about why he's doing this, and basically he was always told by his mother about never settle for 1, 2 is good, but 3 is what you really want. Like with making deals or something like that. So his plan was to sell Dooku to the Republic and sell the Jedi to the Separatists and not have any problems with that. And it was brought up by Obi-Wan after they were just like, yeah, we're going to let you go. That Dooku knows where you live. And he's not as kind as we are. Come, my cattle. After I get done feeding these cows, I'm going to feed the chickens. And then I'm going to wrap up for Minecraft and switch to a little bit of Elden Ring, I think. Oh, this is what I can do. I can bitch about the fucking people who have complained about the DLC being too hard. Alright, first of all, have you never played a From Software game? The DLC is legendary for always having the most difficult encounters, the most difficult bosses. You know what I mean? Like, if you look at a top 10 list for difficult bosses of all the Souls games or whatever, you'll probably see most of the bosses come from DLCs. Now, that's not always the case. There are some bosses that are base game that are fucking insane. Just look at Millennia, Sword of Mikola. Or Blade of Mikola, whatever. You know, I'm thinking about it. Does Radahn size? Like, is Radahn naturally that big? Or did they get that big because of the Scarlet Rot? Because... oh, shit. Because, like, if you compare Rykard was a natural human until they fed themselves to the Great Serpent. Ronnie was a bigger character, right? Like, Ronnie, her base form was taller than us. So I'm curious if Radahn got as big as they got because of the Scarlet Rot. Because there's an obvious correlation between an increase of size and those afflicted with rot. To a certain extent, at least. Anyways, is there anything else? Oh, after we get through with Elden Ring, again, I'm like, we probably got ourselves, because I am gonna do some shit off stream in this game. I'm gonna set up the location where we're gonna build the castle, and I'll probably build the castle on stream. The Colosseum. Yeah, there's a couple more things we gotta do. I can't really not do them. We gotta finish this little area up, however we're doing it. I got to set some stuff up in a certain way, and maybe I'm not going to do exactly what I originally said with the core of Obsidian, the Obsidian core. I'll probably do the Obsidian core as I said I was going to do it. Like, this is going to be Obsidian going down, but it's only going to be Obsidian going down to the level that allows you to go into the portal to the Nether. I kind of want... And then I'm going to cut into this area a little bit, and this will lead into a location that goes under or near to or next to or what have you, the keep. And this might also be associated with the prison as well. We'll see. That pretty much hasn't really changed much. I gotta do something with this. I gotta do something with this gate, or this tunnel. Finish the wall. Dig down a little bit of the mountain. Smooth it out. Alright. Getting to that point, we're going to get a bunch of smooth stone. Or not smooth stone, but regular stone. And my plan will be to smooth this out. Either off stream, probably off stream. Then I have organization to do. I need to finish setting up this area with the campfires and that. I'll do that all off stream. Or at least I'll try to. Shit.
People wake up for peace and quiet. McDonald's breakfast people, we wake up for the sweet rush of getting that warm, delicious breakfast right before it ends.
Be a McDonald's breakfast person with a classic sausage McMuffin with egg or a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit.
I expected it to be, you know.
Order ahead in the app to save time. Price and participation may vary. Combined with any other offer. Single item or regular price.
Okay, true story.
Shit.
Veronica,
Where did I have a bunch of stones somewhere. Hold on, let me drop off a lot of this crap.
Nobody likes to hear the word no. You know, one day I just said, okay, I'm gonna go talk to the banker.
How'd it go, Roger? If there was a bump in the road, we hit it. But we navigated right through it. Veronica kept pushing.
Get more than money from your bank. Welcome to Huntington. Real people compensated for true stories. Loan subject to credit application and approval. Equal housing lender.
Before AI can help your business predict demand, accelerate growth,
Alright, that's fine.
decisions, automate tasks, reveal insights.
Just double checking to make sure. Yeah. Ah, there we go. There's some regular stone.
Helping you govern any AI as data, models, and policies change so you can scale it responsibly. Let's create AI that begins with trust with Watson X Governance. Learn more at ibm.com/governance. IBM.
Well, I guess that stays there for now. Alright. That's good enough for me for now. But yeah, I'm gonna start really working on this stuff because we're like at the cusp of being done with the kingdom. And well, I'm not gonna rush it. I do want to get the Coliseum done. I do want to get this done because I am starting to get that itch to play a different game on Monday. Whether or not it's going to be Elden Ring, I don't know. There's a part of me that's like meh about it. There's another part that's like, I don't know. It could be pretty fun to just be able to play a game like that for a couple of hours on Monday and just rant about shit. Like, be able to just go, like, okay. The people that have been complaining so much to the point to even start to review bomb Elden Ring for the fact that the DLC is quote-unquote too hard. There are so many things wrong with that statement. Not that it's difficult. It is way more difficult than you would expect. But you can mitigate that difficulty by using the in-game mechanics. If anyone tries to tell you how to play that game and enjoy it, they're wrong. I'm playing that. This is one of the reasons why I realized I should just did New Game Plus with my main character, because I'm pretty much playing the exact same way I would have been playing, just with a more strength focus. And it's made me go, damn, I almost wish I was at this point with Snake. But then I thought about it, I'm like, man, I could play this game off stream, and that's why I'm thinking about making it a Monday game. And just keep doing New Game Plus and just doing everything, literally. Doing everything to the point to where I memorize every aspect of the game, just for shits and giggles. Quick little breakdown of what I decided to do in the far future. Like I said, July we're doing the Metal Gear Solid stuff. August will probably be finishing up Elden Ring. And September, we're not going to get back into Fallout 3, but September is going to be a month that I'm not going to like dedicate the entire month to doing it, but I am going to dedicate a good portion of the main streams, like Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, to speedrunning. And I think I'm going to have that be a speedrun that I do in Armored Core. Like, again, I'm still debating if whether or not I want to actually do the speedrun stuff. I might just want to play Armored Core again. Because I've given myself a lot of time to think about it, and I don't know. I have to think about it. I really don't think I would, because I've not been using the timer lately. And the main reason I've not been using the timer is because that sort of stresses me out a little bit. That, and I don't really have a way to manipulate the timer without like alt tabbing or what have you. So once I do that, I'm locked in. That, and I would have to stream my speedrun attempts at a very different time, and I just don't know. We'll decide what I'll figure out what I want to do when it comes to speedrun, if I'm actually going to do that on September, when it gets closer to September. I know I said I wanted to, but I'm starting to actually think about it, starting to get closer, and I'm like, do I really want to? And I don't know if I do. I think it's just going to be too stressful for me. Like, we'll see, like I said. But yeah, so many people have been like, I have a legitimate complaint about, again, this is going to be like spoilers for potential shit when it comes to Elden Ring's, bosses for the DLC and stuff like that. This is for those who might be watching this on YouTube, but by then it's probably, you've either touched it or ain't going to be touching it for a while. Regardless, spoiler alert, and then when I'm done with this spoiler alert, I'm going to be wrapping up for the evening, so you can, for YouTube, you can depart here if you want, if you don't want no spoilers, but the first boss you can, like, rightfully come across that's not really that difficult of a boss is difficult just because of how hard it hits you. And without having the Skadur tree thing upgraded and the Mimic, or not the Mimic, but the Ashes upgrade, because there's two materials that you can find in the Realm of Shadows that'll give you access to increasing your damage whilst reducing the amount of damage you take, as well as doing the same for your spirit summons and torrent, basically. Those items are very useful to make certain fights a lot easier. Or not even a lot easier, but just like less of a slugfest. A lot of the bosses that I fought so far have a series of attacks that are like, oh, easy to dodge, then you respawn in kind by hitting them or whatever, right? Well, when it comes to, how do I want to word this? When it comes to bosses that have, like, large hitboxes, and what I mean by this is because like the magma worm, it basically has a couple of attacks where it is an entire hitbox, and the hitbox is long, and if you dodge into the lizard or don't dodge the right way and get hit, you get stun locked and end up dying. Well, again, spoiler alert, I'm fighting the big fuck off dragon, or I got access to it. It is a fight that is annoying the piss out of me, not because it's a difficult fight, but because of how ridiculous it is to try and avoid getting hit by this boss. And it's super aggro on you, it's super fast, it's very difficult to get distractions. At least you seemingly have an immortal summons for the fight. But here's the thing, I gotta summon that dude, try to stay alive long enough for the aggro to get pulled from me, summon in my Mimic tier, heal, or I could let it get distracted and try and rot the thing and then summon my Mimic tier. Regardless, that's the basic rundown of what I'm going, like, is going through my head there.
Learn more at ibm.com/governance. IBM, let's create.
But yeah, I do believe that is going to be it for me. So I'm going to stand right here, and then when I play this off stream, I'll wait for a few moments before getting sleep, and then waking up. I know I could wait another minute, but nah, I'll do that later. I'm wanting to turn my webcam off and my light because holy shit, is it ridiculously hot. So, kind of short, but that's okay. If you're new here and you haven't already, be sure to become a citizen today via subscribing to this channel as well as my main. Links will be down in the description below through all my links for those watching on YouTube. Exclamation point links like so for those watching on Twitch. Be sure to follow me on Twitch, catch when I go live at 6 p.m. EST, EDT for Friday through Monday. Invite link to the community Discord where you can always get the most accurate notifications of whenever I do go live. If I'm going to be a little bit late or early to stream outside of a half hour, or as long as I know I'm going to be late, as well as whatever else catches your fancy through all my links. Till next time, take care, and have yourselves a good one. Bye-bye.